Have you ever felt completely surrounded, like the whole world is against you? That moment when trouble seems to be coming from every direction, and you feel isolated and overwhelmed. If you've ever felt that way, then Psalm 3 is for you. This isn't just an ancient poem. It's a raw, honest cry from a man in deep distress, a man who found unshakable strength in the middle of his storm. And I believe the same strength is available for you and me today. The psalm begins with a powerful declaration of distress. Lord, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God. Imagine this scene. King David, a mighty warrior and ruler, is on the run. His own son, Absalom, has turned the hearts of the people against him and is leading a rebellion to take his throne and his life. David isn't just facing a few enemies. It's a multitude. Friends have become foes. His own family has betrayed him, and the whispers of doubt are all around him, not just questioning his ability to survive, but questioning God's willingness to help him. There is no help for him in God. Can you feel the weight of those words? That's the ultimate attack, isn't it? It's one thing to face external opposition, but it's another to have your faith publicly mocked and your connection to God denied by others. This is the kind of pressure that can break a person. It's designed to make you feel hopeless, abandoned, and utterly alone. Maybe you've heard similar whispers in your own life. Perhaps not from an army, but from the voice of doubt in your own head, or from circumstances that seem to scream, "Where is your God now?" But right here, in the midst of this overwhelming crisis, David does something extraordinary. He doesn't spiral into despair. He doesn't surrender to the narrative of his enemies. Instead, he shifts his focus. Look at verse 3. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory, and the lifter up of mine head. This is the turning point of the entire psalm. It's a powerful but God moment. David acknowledges the reality of his troubles. He doesn't deny them. Yet, he pivots from the problem to the protector. He declares who God is in the face of his circumstances. First, a shield for me. A shield isn't just a passive piece of armor. It's an active defense. It intercepts the arrows, the spears, the attacks that are meant to destroy you. David is saying that even though he is surrounded, God is his personal, all-encompassing protection. He's not just a shield for Israel or for the righteous in general, but a shield for me. It's personal. Then he says, my glory. In that moment, David had been stripped of his royal glory, his throne, his honor. He was a fugitive. But he understood that his true glory, his ultimate worth and identity, wasn't found in his position or in people's opinions. It was found in God alone. God was his honor when the world tried to shame him. And finally, the lifter up of mine head. When you're defeated, discouraged, and ashamed, your head hangs low. It's a physical posture of despair. But David proclaims that God is the one who lifts his head. This isn't just about restoring his confidence. It's about restoring his dignity, his hope, and his perspective. God physically and spiritually lifts him up so he can look up and forward, instead of down at his feet in defeat. This is such a powerful image for us. When life knocks you down and you feel the shame and weight of your situation, God is the one who gently lifts your chin and reminds you who you are in him. With this renewed perspective, David's actions are remarkable. Look at verse 5. I laid me down and slept. I awaked, for the Lord sustained me. He slept in the middle of a life-threatening crisis, with enemies plotting his demise. David was able to lie down and sleep peacefully. This isn't denial or foolishness. This is the ultimate act of trust. It's a practical demonstration of faith. He handed his worries, his fears, and his future over to his shield and his sustainer. He knew that worrying all night wouldn't change a thing, but trusting in God would. And notice he says, I awaked, for the Lord sustained me. Waking up wasn't a given. He could have been attacked in his sleep, but he awoke to a new day because God was his faithful guardian through the darkest hours of the night. His peace wasn't based on the absence of problems, but on the presence of God. How many of us lose sleep over our troubles? We toss and turn, replaying scenarios in our minds. David teaches us that true rest is found not in solving all our problems, but in entrusting them to the one who never sleeps or slumbers. This peace then fuels his courage. Verse 6 is a bold declaration of faith. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. From how they increased the trouble me too, I will not be afraid of 10,000s. What a transformation. The number of enemies hasn't changed. The threat is still very real. But David's fear has been replaced by faith. His confidence isn't in his own strength or military strategy, but in the God who is his shield. He realizes that if God is for him, the number of those against him is irrelevant. 1 plus God is always a majority. This is the confidence that comes from knowing who your God is. It doesn't mean you won't feel the initial pangs of fear, but it means you don't have to live there. You can stand firm on the promise that God is with you and for you, no matter how many challenges rise up against you. Finally, David turns his declaration into a prayer of petition and praise. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for thou hast smitten all mine enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. He's calling on God to act, to bring about the victory that he's already claimed by faith. He speaks of God's past faithfulness as a guarantee of future deliverance. Smashing the cheekbone and breaking the teeth are graphic images of rendering an enemy powerless, unable to speak threads or devour. He's reminding himself and God of God's track record. He's essentially saying, "You've done it before, God, and I know you can do it again." This is a key to enduring faith. Remembering God's past victories in your life. When you face a new giant, remember the lions and bears God has already helped you defeat. And the psalm concludes not with a focus on the enemies, but with a focus on God and his people. Verse 8. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thy people. David recognizes that ultimate victory, deliverance, and salvation don't come from human effort, but from God alone. It's his work. And his final thought isn't just for himself. It expands to include all of God's people. Thy blessing is upon thy people. Even in his personal crisis, his heart is for the community of faith. He understands that his personal battle is part of a larger story, and God's blessing extends to all who call upon him. So what does this mean for us today? It means that when you feel surrounded, when the voices of doubt are loud, you have a choice. You can focus on the number of your troubles, or you can declare, "But thou, O Lord." You can name who God is for you, your shield, your glory, the lifter of your head. It means you can find a peace that allows you to rest even in the storm. Not because the storm is gone, but because the sustainer is with you. It means you can face your fears, not with your own strength, but with the courage that comes from knowing the God of salvation is on your side. Psalm 3 is a roadmap from overwhelming anxiety to unwavering trust. It starts with a problem, pivots to the protector, leads to peace, and results in praise. No matter what you are facing today, whether it's one big problem or 10,000 little ones, this psalm is your invitation to look up, to shift your focus from the battle raging around you to the God who is your shield. And I know many of you watching have your own but God stories. You've been in a situation that seemed hopeless, but God showed up. He was your shield. He lifted your head. He brought you peace. I want to ask you to do something powerful right now. In the comments below, I want you to finish this sentence. I was overwhelmed by God. Share a brief testimony of how God was your shield or the lifter of your head. Let's fill this comment section with thousands of but God moments that will encourage everyone who reads them. Your story of his faithfulness might be the very thing someone else needs to hear to help them trust him in their storm. Let's create a monument of praise right here. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss our next time together in the Word. Remember, salvation belongs to the Lord, and his blessing is upon you.